What's going on, world? You know, this is your girl, Marki Lemons-Ryhal, and today I'm super excited. Often before a podcast, we hop on a call just to kind of lay the landscape of what we're going to do. And I got warm and fuzzy all over. Let me tell you, first of all, why I got warm and fuzzy all over. This is like an icon. I mean, his resume reads like who's who of real estate. I need him to be my big brother, but then I would need to probably move out west for that to happen.
Come on out.
Come on out. Wait, look, I can smell the fresh air right now. Today, I have Jim Remley on with me, and I am super excited because he said all these great buzzwords that made me feel warm. What's going on, Jim?
Hey, I'm super excited to be here. Thank you so much. Talking about icons, you're everywhere. I see your face. I see your content. You're breaking through. I see you everywhere.
Well, you know what? Thank you very much. I am following people strategically who've laid the foundation for me to be able to do what it is that I do. And you would be one of those people. So thank you for giving me a path, because you're the person who trudged through, right? I get to kind of come and walk gentle. You were the one going like this, So I am thankful that I necessarily didn't have to dig the trench, right? For everyone else, I'm able to kind of walk behind and have something to guide me and definitely to tell me, Marki, you might not want to do that. And I know that you tell agents what they should be doing in order to increase their sales. Now, I know that you travel all over the country training realtor members and that you have a lot of great products and services. But you said something to me earlier and it just resonated with my soul. And that was lifestyle marketing.
Yes.
What is lifestyle marketing?
Your eyes lit up when I said the words. I saw it. So lifestyle marketing is really focusing in on the lifestyle someone would enjoy if they were buying your listing, right? So a lot of times what happens with agents is we get trapped into thinking we've got to give a laundry list of amenities about the house because we feel like that's what we're supposed to do. And a lot of times we just haven't been coached on good copywriting. But copywriting is an art, and we're such a visual society, but people still read the copy, right? They still read the description about the listing. And we got to make sure that we're making impact and we're exciting people and we're telling a story. And I'll give you a classic example of that. And that is if you have a listing that's got 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 3,000 square feet, half acre, maybe it's in a really great school district, so you name the school district. And it would be a natural thing for us to write an ad that's like, here's the laundry list, But the problem with that is that buyers are like terminators. They're like living, breathing terminators, right? And what they do is they read advertisements not to accept listings, but to reject them and eliminate them. And the reason why they do that is intuitively, subconsciously. They know there are thousands of properties in any given market, right, that they could choose from, and they couldn't possibly look at them all. So when they're reading advertisements or online scrolling, they're going, nope, 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 yes. And why do they say nope to, 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 listings? It's because we've armed them with the tools to do so. And the way you arm them with the tools to do so is by giving them logic-based reasons to eliminate your property from consideration. So a classic example of that is, like I've been describing, the 3-bedroom house, a 2-bath, half acre, whatever. They read that ad and they say to themselves, you know what, we need 4 bedrooms. We need 5 bedrooms. Or we only want a 2-bedroom. So a 3-bedroom doesn't work for us. We're eliminated from consideration, right? Or, I need to not be in that school district. I want to be in this school district. Or I don't want a half acre. I want a small, yard to take care of. I don't want 3-car garage. I want a 2-car garage. I don't want any garage. I just use Uber all the time, right? Whatever. So you got to be very careful about all these data points you're giving people. When most people send me their ads, like as a coaching student, I'll say, send me your ads. And I want to review your ads with you. And I'll pick them apart. Usually it's 7 to 10 logic-based reasons somebody might eliminate that home from consideration. And we forget the reason, and new agents often haven't been trained in this, but the reason why we create marketing isn't to sell the listing. Only 1% of the time is someone going to call or click on a listing and buy that listing. It's extremely rare. I mean, it's like a black swan event when that happens. I mean, you'll count the times in your career that will happen on one hand. It will not happen very often. What will happen, though, hopefully, is what you're doing is you want conversion. You want people calling you about that listing or clicking on that listing. And so the goal of ads is conversion. That's it, right? So that's what lifestyle marketing is all about. So I'll give you an example of an ad I wrote for live at the class that I taught up Thursday up in Seattle and Bellevue, Washington. And so here's an example of an ad. I said, come relax, escape the city, come relax in your spacious new home just outside the city, but still within an award-winning school district. Entertain friends and family with the upgraded kitchen. Enjoy the picture-perfect setting featuring breathtaking views of the valley with a nice-sized lot. Didn't say the size, right? You'll have the space for a hobby and the time for a garden. Now, you might say to yourself, Jim, that is so vague. What did you even say there? What I did is I told a story. And I told a story that at some level, you might say, yeah, I'd like to have a garden. Yeah, I'd love to have a view. Yeah, I'd like to be in an award-winning school district. I just want to go one step further. I'm going to click and I'm going to see which listing that is, right? Because I've told a lifestyle story. So that's what we train agents to do. The one thing you also notice on that ad is we didn't put a price. That is controversial. Some agents are like, I got to have a price on there, Jim. And sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But this particular listing we're talking about was $1 million listing. If I say it's $1 million listing, what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to say, I can't pay $1 million for that listing. I'm not going to even call on it. Again, another logic point. But maybe that same buyer could afford $800,000 or $700,000. And the question mark for you as an agent is, do you want a $700,000 buyer calling you? Do you want an $800,000 buyer calling you? The answer is yes. Maybe the price in some cases is left off, right? So that's kind of the theory.
Wow. Okay. So normally what I've been telling agents, because they are just dead set on promoting their listings, right? And I tell them that every last one of their listings has 3 disqualifiers, and that would be location, price point, and bedroom, bathroom count. You just took it to an entirely different level, right? Because now I'm thinking about those descriptions, right? And I'm thinking, oh, right outside the city. Oh, that shouldn't be that long of a drive. Oh, yeah. Who doesn't want their children to go to an award-winning school district, right? And so you've piqued the curiosity. And oftentimes, if they're coming back to, let's say, an IDX feed website, they will realize that they can choose an option, right? That fits their needs and their wants. Oh, I love that.
So you said a key word there, which I love, which is the word curiosity. And the word curiosity really, and when we're looking at our ads, that's what we should be defining it as. Does it actually engage curiosity? Because if they get curious about it, that's the only reason they're going to click or call. And if you give them all the information and there's no reason to click or call, then you've just eliminated yourself from consideration again. So I think curiosity is such a huge factor as well. So I think you nailed that on the head.
And when I think of lifestyle marketing, I often let people know I'm born and raised south side of Chicago. We don't think of necessarily that as a lifestyle, but what you just said, it's your lifestyle. So it could be the lifestyle at any price point. It's not just about the outdoor hobbies per se, or living in the mountains, ski resorts, because it could be the lifestyle of close proximity. Oh, walk Lakeshore Drive with the cool breeze in the morning.
Yes, that's it. You nailed it. So here's what's interesting about what you said. That'll be some people will say, Jim, that only works for $1 million properties. It only works for luxury properties. Not true, because if I'm a renter and my lifestyle has been renting, I can sell home ownership as a starter home. I can say, stop paying your landlords, start being a homeowner, feel the pride of home ownership. I can tell the story of home ownership. I can do that in a condo. I can do that in any setting. Every home has a lifestyle that someone's going to enjoy. And kind of as a follow-up to that too is we've been experimenting and having great success with doing lifestyle photography and lifestyle video shoots. So let me give you a little thought on that. So normally you come in and you get these boring photos that are 4 walls and a roof, right? So you're walking through the house. Yes, we have great photography. We get HD photography, 4K photography, and you can make a house look really good. But you know how a house looks even better than that, and it really differentiates it, is you put people in the photo. You put people in the photo that are enjoying the lifestyle someone would enjoy if they owned the house. They're standing there looking at the view. They're sitting on the couch eating popcorn, watching a movie. They are, doing whatever, cooking in the kitchen. And this takes a little bit of planning, but sometimes sellers are down for this, and sometimes sellers love to be in the photos. And you might have to get some actors to do it as well. But, kids are cheap, right? College kids will do anything for anything, right? So there
Yes,
you
they
go.
will.
So
Kids are cheap.
yeah,
And so are pets.
And so are pets, right? Oh, good statistic I just read this weekend. 89% of buyers, millennial buyers that purchased this year own a pet. 89% of millennial buyers own a pet.
Did you see the stat from Lawrence Yun? He talked about who the time wasters are, and he said single men are time wasters. However, single men are more likely to buy real estate if they have a pet because they're buying real estate for the pet.
Exactly. And behind that 89% was 79% of those millennials, the same millennials, would give up the house of their dreams if it didn't meet their pet's needs. Right? Crazy, right? Crazy.
Wow. So look, as a parent, I'm not giving up the house because of my children, but I assume that there's a closer relationship to the pet with the millennials. Get out of here. It's sort of like, as a parent, you're going to live what I tell you to live, right?
Right. You're just going to bite it and enjoy it. But what's interesting is that, but you brought up a great point, is if the house is pet friendly, are we marketing the house as pet friendly? Are we putting the pets in the picture? Which I think is an interesting idea. And the other thing you brought up about Lakeshore Drive, which I think is interesting, is that of the 13 reasons why someone buys a house, NAR has done a study about this, 9 of them are related to proximity. And so it's all neighborhood, and proximity to services, to churches, to shopping, to medical, to schools. So a lot of times when we're marketing a house, we should be also really thinking about what are we marketing in terms of lifestyle of the community. Like if you got a hot downtown and it's super cool and vibrant, are you taking some photos of that or just using some photos from that? Are you showing photos of the park? Are you showing photos of walkways and, the school maybe? Those same kind of things where people are looking at more of a lifestyle.
I just had she's downsizing because she's the only person in her house. She's actually given her current house to her son, but she was very specific. She wanted a house in walking distance of her church, and she did not want to walk more than 6 blocks. So I had 71st to 75th, Jeffrey to Yates. It was one little square because her church was right there in the center. And she was so clear, but it had everything to do with her church. I've never seen anyone that adamant to be that close to their church, but she was very specific. Wow. And so not only do we have the lifestyle words, we have the lifestyle photography, and we have the lifestyle video.
Yes. So lifestyle video, we've seen some great people doing some amazing stuff with lifestyle video. That's, again, showing people interacting in the house and having a good time in the house. We've seen all kinds of versions of this, but cooking in the kitchen, obviously, playing board games, which everybody wants to play a board game with their kids. Nobody does a lot of times today because they're all playing video games. But the idea of it, you're selling a lifestyle, you're selling a way of life that you want to have, right? And it's the same reason, really, it goes to aspirational goals. And one thing to think about when you're writing these ads and building this kind of marketing is, this is aspirational. This is where people want to step up to. It's the same reason why we buy a car, same reason why we buy jewelry or clothes. It's how we think it's going to make us feel when we move up into this. So it's not where people are. You're not targeting people, this is where they're at today. You're targeting people, this is where they want to be tomorrow. And it's that's kind of the mindset.
When you say aspirational goals, it brought me back to the Realtors Code of Ethics, right? Because we have these aspirational goals, lofty goals, to better ourselves inside of the industry. So I know that we even talked about millennials, and oftentimes I have problems with panels, right? Because there's no representation of whatever group this is on the panel. Right. And even though I talk to a lot of millennials, if they're really new to the world of real estate, they don't have enough experience per se to tell you exactly how to market and cater to them. They can tell you how things make them feel, right? Yeah. But they haven't had enough experience behind it. So I've talked to some millennials who have not aided me in any process of being able, to market to them. Now, but I've observed my millennial age children, right? And so I'm like, okay, I see this is how they prefer to market. An example would be when my oldest son, he's 23 now, when he was in college, he didn't like, comment, or share on anything. At the moment he graduated from college, okay, and got a job. He now wants to communicate with the older adults again. Publicly communicate with them.
Interesting.
Right. Not take the screenshot and inbox you your post. But no, because that's what it was killing me, right? For 5 years, he would never like, comment, or share, but he would take a screenshot and then send me a text message. Now it's kind of cool again to communicate with me and my friends online to the point that I want to tell him, no, go back into hibernation, right? Go back.
Go away.
So when we think about millennials, what are some of the things that we need to do? I'll be 50 on my next birthday, and I'm getting closer and closer to the average age of a realtor. Every single year, closer and closer to the average age, right? What is something that I should be doing in order to ensure that when I retire in another 15 years, that I've built strong relationships with millennials, because they will be the biggest sector of buyers and sellers at that time?
Yeah. Well, even now, we just saw a study that 40% of transactions done this year are going to be done with a millennial. So, I mean, it's happening faster than we think it is. One thing that I'm teaching now with my coaching students is you got to kind of rethink your marketing plan a little bit, because of the changing dynamics with this younger generation, right? So a good example of this is 52% of all sellers today are first-time home sellers. We always talk about first-time home buyers, but 52% of sellers are first-time home sellers, meaning they bought a house 4 or 5 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. Now they're ready to move up. And guess what? Most of those 52% are millennial sellers. So we always think about millennial buyers, but we're getting a whole new generation of millennial sellers. Behind them is Generation Z, which is going to be the next generation buying. But right now, a lot of millennial sellers. So we might say, how do we connect to a millennial seller? I'm going to give you 2 examples of that real quick. So if I'm prospecting, I'm lead generating, and I'm calling for sell by owners, expired listings, just as an example, right, as marketing. Here's one thing that we've been trained to do over the years is call them or stop by their house, right? If I call them, though, a millennial is going to be like, who's this weirdo calling me? I'm not answering, right? So what we might do instead of that is we might say, I'm going to text them. So we have cold texting scripts that we use with my coaching students. So it's no different than cold calling them. It's just a cold text. And we know that 95% of texts are responded to within 5 minutes. So that the response rate is astronomical if you have the right scripting, and super simple scripting. So texting, always better with millennials, obviously. We know that. But I go one step further, which is we combine video with that. So imagine now I shoot a video of myself and I say, hey, I just drove by your house over on 123 Johnson Street. Looks like a great house. I see you have for sale by owner sign. Would you consider working with an agent if I have a buyer? If so, shoot me back a text. And I shoot the video. I don't have to call them, so I don't have to have the rejection and all that stuff. I guarantee you every millennial seller, and really any seller of any age, is going to watch that video. And that's a textable video. I can do that on my phone in the moment and do it right now, right? Here's another way to kind of growth hack that. And this is a lot of content here, I get it. But really quickly, I could do the same thing, but have a generic version of that video. Imagine a generic video version, which is just a, hey, I saw your house on Craigslist. It looks like an interesting house. I'd love to come by and take a look at what you have. If you're open to working with an agent, please give me a call. And I take that video and I give it to my college student kids, and I say, go on Craigslist, text this to every single for sale by owner every single morning that they come up. And now that message is going out. So that's an example of a kind of a different take on marketing with millennials than maybe we've traditionally done. But that's very effective, right?
It is. One thing, I was, where was I last week? Oh, Lord, I can't think. But I was in the city, not Chicago, last week. And one thing that they talked about, I know where I was. I was in Nashville. They were talking about, this was actually a millennial. Actually, he's not a millennial. He's a Gen Z. 22 years old, came in the industry at 18 in Florida. He's now like the director of engagement for the company. Wow. Make a long story short, he said that one of his agents has recorded multiple videos, generic videos, but they've recorded one, as the seasons change, one in the daytime, one in evening. And when they send the video, they send it out according to what the scenery is, right? So that it's matching the tone of the day to the person that's receiving the message.
I love it. That is so awesome.
And look, we're talking about, less than a minute? a minute max.
You're done. Yeah.
You know, one thing that's
great.
also working is sending the audio clips as well.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Yes.
I just set up the other day, and I hate to say her name because she'll probably start talking. Alexa. No, Alexa. No, Alexa. Okay, see, she picked up her name, right? But the flash briefing. So we're taking the audio, because you can repurpose so many different forms of content today.
Sure.
But you can take everything and put it and make it a video with things like highlight. But now with the flash briefings, I had to not say her name. Oh, she'll pop up on me. I see the light circulating in the background. And so, yeah, I'm loving the text script.
Yeah.
I'm loving the video and the audio. And as I'm telling agents, especially those that are more seasoned professionals, they consistently complain about the next generation, the millennials and the Gen Z. But I do not hear millennials and Gen Zs complaining about us. It's kind of like they go about their work and what they're doing works for them. Yeah. And they don't know any different. Right. And so they're doing their thing, and I don't ever hear them complain about us. All I hear is them millennials. And I'm like, well, you better embrace it because they're taking your market share.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
You know,
you gotta change.
And change is the only constant. So I'm loving that. So when we start thinking about lifestyle marketing, dealing with millennials, the text, the video, the audio, are there any other things that you're seeing in that, with that age bracket?
Another great idea is to do with your sellers, ask them if they're comfortable with video. Some sellers are, some sellers aren't. But if they are comfortable with video, is you say, listen, would you do a quick video with me? And I'm just going to interview you about your house. Okay. And what we're going to talk about is, when you bought the house, why did you choose this house over all the other houses you could have chose? Right? How do you like living in the neighborhood? Tell me all the great things about living in the neighborhood. What improvements have you made to the house since you've been here? And what message would you want the next buyer of your house to hear, right? So really warm, friendly, 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. And now when you market the house, you could on social media, for instance, say, here's a link to why the sellers love their house so much and why you might love it as well. You could also have a QR code in the house on a flyer stood up that says, listen to what the sellers thought about their house and all the improvements they've made, why they think you should buy this house. If you imagine that on a flyer, as the buyer's walking through, they click it, boom, they can watch it, which I think is great. You could also have the video up at an open house so people could watch the video at an open house. Just different kinds of things to think about. How do you sell the lifestyle there? Again, it's all about rethinking how you're marketing the property.
Wow. And I just thought about, I'm thinking about the different reality TV shows, essentially, right? Yeah. Or the national open house shows. Yeah. You can create this in your local marketplace. And then if they mention their favorite Italian restaurant, right? Right. Now you can bring them into the video clip as well. If it was nothing else but just a photo, right? Inside of the video. I mean, the possibilities.
Yeah. Think about this. Think about when you're doing your walkthrough, your like video walk through the house, and then you just use this as a bumper on the end. You say, you do the video walk through the house, and here's a message from the sellers why you should come to see this house. And they'll probably not watch yours, but they'll watch that, right? For sure, because they'll be engaging, right? So huge. I'm
thinking about now playing on every television in the house.
Exactly, you know, I mean,
right? And Dustin Brome, he would appreciate this. I'm thinking now, because of the different devices, you could just have the audio, and it could sound like music coming through, through the system.
Love it.
And
love it.
Here's the thing. It doesn't cost a lot of money to do any of this.
None. I mean, very little. You can do that on your phone.
The text messaging and the video and the audio on the phone was free. And I'm going back to, let's say, 15, 20 years ago. I joke about this in class, but my automobile was wrapped. I had bus benches, billboards, direct mail pieces, right? Classified ad in the back of the Sun-Times. All of these were, you know, let's say a minimum $500 a month, right?
Yeah.
These are cost-effective tools that you get to do A/B testing on your devices to see whether they work or not.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the key is you in some markets it might work, some markets it might not, but that's why we try and do things all the time. Another great idea with millennials and really any buyers is to do the dream search conversation. You want to have an aspirational conversation with a millennial. This is what you say. You say, hey, listen, you're renting right now, right? And they say yes. And you say, let me just ask you a question. I'm a realtor. I'm just curious. What does your dream house look like? Tell me. And nobody can resist that question. If I ask you that question, your eyes are already starting to glow. I can see it, right? You're thinking, I can describe this. Now, when they give you the answer, you say, listen, what's stopping you? What's holding you back? And you get into that conversation. And then you say, listen, I know you're not ready right now to purchase. I get it. I know where you're at. But let me do this for you just for fun. I'm going to set up what I call a dream search. I do it for all my friends and family. The dream search I'm going to set up in the MLS system. It's going to send you an email on any listings that match that criteria. How often would you like to get it? Once a week, once a month, once every other month? They'll say once a month probably. Great, I'll set you up. Now they're going to every month get their aspirational dream search coming to them. And you've attached yourself to their ultimate lifestyle goal, right? Even if they can't afford it, doesn't matter. Even if it takes them 2 years to get there, you're the one delivering something that is bigger than themselves. And they will remember you because you're branded to it. I mean, that's been very, very effective for a lot of my agents, the dream search.
I love it. And now I'm thinking we do an annual vision board. We watch the movie The Secret and then do a vision board. Yeah. And you could become a part of their dreams, period. Because now I'm thinking, I should tie this back in to the whole watch the movie The Secrets and our dream board that we do once a year. This will be our 3rd year doing it. So we've never done a dream search conversation.
Dream search. There you go.
How hard is that to put into the conversation? Oh my goodness. Like, I'm thinking, why haven't we been doing that? That's just one additional question to all the questions. And we have all the magazines and everything. And now we can set them all up on a search because it's a dream search and it doesn't cost us any more money to add those additional searches to the MLS.
And it's just another touch point. We should be touching these people 9 to 12 times a year. This is another touch. This is going to give you 10 more touches a year probably.
But now I'm thinking about visualization and everything and how it can help change a person's life. Wow. Okay. So that these just some little things that will make a big difference. So I know that you also deal with the sphere of influence, right?
Yes.
What are some of the unique things, because you've sold a lot of real estate in Oregon, yes. Right? A lot of real estate. Yep. What are some of the unique things that you're doing when it comes to meeting people face to face or dealing with your sphere in your marketplace?
So sphere of influence, that's a big, huge part of our conversation with every agent. My goal is to take every agent from brand new, every coaching student we have, and take them from green as grass, just walked in the front door of office, to get them to be 90% referral based in the first 2 to 3 years. And that's challenging. But here's what I say to them. I say, it's just like you're a doctor and you just got your medical license and you're going to be an intern in the hospital. You're going to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. You're not going to get paid a lot of money. You're going to make a good living compared to most people, but not a lot of money. At the end of that period, though, you're going to open a practice, right? And you never see a brain surgeon knocking on doors, right? Has you ever had a brain surgeon come to your door? No. The reason is they're all referral based. The best attorneys, best doctors, best surgeons, all referral based. How do they get there, though? I mean, what's the road map to getting to being referral based? And it boils down to surrounding yourself with your clients that have friends and family that are similar to the clients you're working with. So we do a lot of things surrounding that. I'll give you a couple of really fun examples that we use for our agents. I have an agent that I work with for years, Janet McMahon, in the Bend market. She does a system she calls Blend, which is this. She invites her favorite group of people. Let's say your favorite 20 or 30 clients that refer you business, right? Your favorite 20, your favorite 30. And every month she does an event at a different place. Could be a brewery, could be a restaurant, could be a dessert place, whatever, bakery. And she'll say, this is where our blend event is. And then when people come, she buys appetizers for everybody. If it's at a brewery, for instance, she'll say, I'm going to give everybody a drink token. But here's the secret. The secret is that when you come, it's a mandatory +1. Mandatory +1. Can't be your spouse. You got to bring somebody else. So who are they bringing? They're going to be bringing someone that's in their sphere of influence. That is someone in their same socioeconomic kind of strata, right? That is somebody that you already like, that you're connecting with, that you're going to highly likely connect with those people. Now think about this. Every single month, you're probably doubling because you're getting 20 extra people you're meeting, and you're buying them a drink and you're buying them appetizers. You're the hero, and now you're adding them to your database. If you did nothing other than that, for most agents, like in their first year in the business, they'll blow it up. They'll absolutely blow up, right? So that's a simple thing. that's been really fun for a lot of our agents to implement. So it's kind of a mixer.
Actually, everything that you've mentioned, it sounds like fun to me.
Good. We gotta have fun.
All of this is fun. We're getting to know people.
Yeah.
Leveraging our mobile devices. We're speaking things into existence. We're going to leverage the MLS to set up dream search conversations. And because we have a higher conversion rate on people we meet versus people we haven't met, you just met 240 new people, which to me looks like you could probably get you could get 24 deals maybe.
That's
potentially
24 deals. Yeah, 10 to 1, right? Exactly.
Out of that situation. Oh, that more than pays for itself.
Easy.
And look, and you at the brewery drinking? Oh my goodness.
We make it simple. We make it easy, right? We also do some things around the sphere that I think are unique as well. And one of the things that I think we have to do with our sphere of influence, which is hard, but we have to do it, is we have to get in the habit of doing the flag the next call technique. And the flag the next call technique is every time I get on the phone and talk to someone, what I'm doing is I'm making notes, of course, in my CRM, and of course I'm using CRM. That's like a basic thing. But here's where most people fall apart. They have every good intention, they make the call, but they forget to make the next call. So the first call they make, they do it, they finally break through, and they like get the guts up, they make the call, they make the notes, but then they don't flag the next contact. Flagging the next contact is the most important part of every call, every single call we make. So when I'm on the phone and I'm having that conversation, of course, after I get up, I give up the call, I write down the thank you card, send it out to them. But what I'm also going to say in 2 weeks, because they said they're going to Hawaii, I'm going to check in and I'm going to say, hey man, I got to ask you, how was your trip to Hawaii, right? Because I know they had back surgery a month from now, I'm going to call them and I'm going to say, how's your back surgery going? Because this is the biggest thing. When I coach top agents from around the country and they're doing 50, 60, 70, $80 million in business, every single one of these people doesn't refer to their database as their database or as a CRM. They refer to their top clients as friends. And so when you are thinking about how are you going to elevate somebody that's just a name in your database to a friend, what's going to be the evolution of that? What's going to be the ladder that's going to take you through that process? And so that's flagging the next contact. Sounds simple, but it's so powerful. And I'll tell you, this time of year is one of the best times of the year for your database. And the reason is this. You should be getting on the phone and you pick out your top 50, your top 100, and you call them and you say, listen, if they're a business, and you can kind of highlight the people that are business owners, salespeople, entrepreneurs, and this is a great time of year to call them. And you say, listen, I want to send you more referrals in 2020 than I did in 2019. I feel guilty I didn't send you more. I want to have a networking meeting with you. I want you to tell me every single thing you're doing that's exciting, and I want to start spreading more of your word. I mean, it's all about you. Let's talk about you. And I'm going to set that appointment with you, and we're just going to talk about you. And now we're going to go to coffee. I'm going to get it's going to focus 100% on them. I really am. And then the natural byproduct of that is the law of reciprocity will kick in, and they'll probably follow suit and do the same. Another important call right now is a connection call. So I say, Marki, there's somebody that you should meet that I know, and I think you two really need to get to know each other because I think you guys can help each other. And now I'm going to be the connection point for putting you together. In fact, that's how I'm on this show today, is somebody connected us. Matt connected us because I was on Matt's podcast and he connected us. Powerful. I'll never forget that Matt connected us. And so when we're the connecting point, people never forget that. And the other good thing right now at this time of year is the goal setting session. So I call and I call 3 or 4 or 5 people that are really like-minded. And I say, hey, listen, I'm going to do a little brainstorming session, a little breakfast meeting here next week, next Friday. I'm buying breakfast. We're going to brainstorm for 2020. We're all in different industries. We're going to brainstorm marketing ideas, whatever you can come up with to help each other build our business. And those kinds of calls are really what's going to elevate your business. It's going to drive your business so high. Quickly, we had an agent did $17 million in business last year, second year in the business, $17 million. And I said, Steve, what is your secret? Because you're killing it. And this is a guy that's not doing any online marketing. He's not really big on Facebook. He's not really big on social media. He doesn't have a great website. Here's what he's doing. He's making 60 calls a week, and he's going on 5 networking meetings a week from those 60 calls. That's what powered 17 million. I mean, almost free, right? So I could talk all day about that.
Wow. I mean, but those are excellent numbers for your second year full-time in the business. I mean, the people would die for those numbers. And that means he's going to continue to make those calls because he wants to continue to make that amount of money. What I will tell you, you've given me a lot of homework to do. I'll tell you that much. I think what I'm going to do, the first thing, because we're working on goals right now, is goal setting brainstorming with several other people in my marketplace. So I can see that, man. And look, breakfast, you can't afford breakfast, you got a problem, right? So we can buy plenty of coffee. I can buy breakfast for a whole lot of people. Now, them dinners get expensive.
Dinner is a
breakfast, a whole different thing. And so I have 5 or 6 things that I definitely am going to implement. And what I'm loving is this: when I call my top 50, right, and I'm making these calls, I can instantly start to flag them. But when I'm meeting with them face to face and I'm getting to know them as a friend, I'm mentally taking notes about these other important things that are going to happen in their life over the course of the year. And when I connect with them, they'll tell me something for the next call and then the next call. So that means we have to also be diligent in our note taking to ensure that we're flagging these. So I never thought about that. You have some, I'm thinking blend event, flag the next call. First of all, you've given me so many new words. And I'm glad to hear that, because what I love about being a podcast host is that I get undivided attention once per week from people who I admire and respect, and they teach me something new. And so I pride myself on surrounding myself with people who are smarter than me. My mother told me years ago, Marki, you never want to be the smartest of the dummies. And so she said, you want to be the dummy of the smartest. And so, and it's okay, because that means you're going to consistently learn something new. I know that you have a lot of products and services, and heck, I want you to be my coach. If someone needs to hire you because they want to make $17 million, right, in 2020, 2021, or even more, how do they connect with you?
So I have a website. I have a coaching website called eRealEstateCoach.com. So they can hop on there. We've got a lot of great products. We've got mastery courses and all kinds of lead generation, FSBOs, expireds, open houses, sphere of influence, builder, investor, all kinds, just on and on. So they can buy one course or they can buy multiple courses there. A lot of people like coaching though, and so they want ongoing coaching. And so we have a coaching platform we call The Path. And it's me coaching people on demand. It's like the Netflix of coaching, I call it. So I have hundreds of coaching sessions taped with me, and I'm coaching on all kinds of different topics. But the cool thing is, after every coaching session, you have instant action downloads. So like when we're talking about any of the things we talked about today, you could then download the tools, the techniques, the scripts, the system behind that, the forms, the presentation materials, right then and there. So you can pull that down and use it instantly. And then on top of that, we have live coaching every Monday. I did my live coaching right before this session. So we do that also, so people can get some live coaching. And that's all of that is $97 a month. So it's very inexpensive. And we give people 14 days to just try it out, just to experience it, and really go in and see how it feels for them. And it's all free. We give you a ton of content during that first 14-day period. The live coaching is included. So you can really test out and experience it. So if you go to eRealEstateCoach.com, click the top button on coaching, you can get that 14 days free trial.
Wonderful. That is a lot of content, and I feel like I've been coached today, and I have 2 pages of notes here of things that I need to implement and then also take back to my agents. I truly appreciate your time and energy, because you own your niche, and I see why you've been so successful, because you've developed your own tools, systems, acronyms, theories. No, I'm for real, because that means you're an innovator, and you didn't take somebody else's idea. You came up with your own idea based on what is and is not working in different marketplaces. So I appreciate that. If anybody needs to be coached, I need you to reach out to Jim, follow his instructions so that you too can be among the top producers. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.